Hi, I hope everyone's doing well and staying healthy today. I am Mariano Genestrosa, one of the teaching artists in residence for the Casa 2020 program with Brooklyn Arts Council. And as you know, I've been working at Independence Neighborhood Senior Center, leading a visual arts workshop centered around landscapes called Landscapes and Memory. And today I want to, keep going. I hope you're all staying healthy and well. And as you can see, I got a pretty extreme haircut. And, well, you know, in these days where we're all trying to stay at home and stay safe, we all need to find new ways to stay entertained, and this was one of them for me. But with no further ado, let's get started with our class today. Today we're going to talk about creating rhythm in things. And in order to do so, I want to work with a painting by Vincent van Gogh. But first of all, let's look at the materials that we're going to need. So the print that I have didn't turn out too well. Unfortunately, my printer is low on ink, but it will serve us. And what I wanted you all to see is how the painter uses the direction of his brushstrokes to create different rhythms. Right? We can see how it's going around, or in the tree it's also kind of following a rhythm. And the same happens with the grass. Even though the quality of the image is not too good, I think you can get an idea, right? Or the path. So what he's doing is basically using the shapes of the different elements in his landscape and creating a rhythm by following the direction. So we're going to work with ink, and the supplies that we have for that are basically very simple. We have paper. I have my ink here that has sunk down but is dark. I have some water, and then I also have a pencil and some pens and an eraser, because I'm going to also try. I know that not everyone is going to have maybe ink at home, so I want to offer you the possibility of working with other supplies. This could be pen or pencil. So the first thing that we're going to do is just do a quick outline of the different elements that we have in the painting. And this doesn't need to be very exact or anything like that. As I always like to tell you, the painting that we are using as a reference is only the starting point. And that was also the case for Van Gogh. When he made this painting, I can assure you that whatever he was looking at did not look like this. But he used what he was looking at as a starting point to make his own image. So I'm going to start by just doing an approximation of the different elements that I see. Start over there. We have him moving over there. So there. Now that I have my outline, I'm going to take my brush with the ink and looking at the painting, we see all those little brush strokes that make the tree. So I'm going to try and do a similar thing. I'm going to start with the outside. I'm not even, as you can see, I'm not even following exactly the outline that I made. You can see, it's only a reference. And I'm not even necessarily looking too hard at my model because, well, I'm not Van Gogh, I'm me. Okay, so we have the outline of the tree. Now that we have the outline, we're just going to keep doing like we have in the image. We're going to keep bringing that rhythm on the inside. Going all the way. And you see how, some are shorter and some are longer. It's really do what you feel. We're not machines. We're just people who like to paint. There you go. So that's our cypress. So one thing about rhythm is it's all about strokes and the space between strokes. Just like when we think about music, what makes the rhythm is the beat and the space between the beat. When I snap my fingers, the longer or shorter I wait between I snap my fingers creates different rhythms. And we can use that same notion when we are making our paintings. So the same way that we created a rhythm inside our cypress, we can try to create a different one for different parts. So I'm going to draw that star that we have over there, which would be here. But in this case, I'm going to try and make my rhythm be different. And I'm going to start by using very short brush strokes. I'm going to keep going, and as you see, I'm separating the strokes are more separated than the ones that I had on the tree, right? Why is that? Well, also because when you separate them, you allow more of the white of the paper to come through, so it creates a lighter tone. The cypress is darker and the star should be lighter. But at the same time, as we get further away from the star, I will start making the strokes get a little bit closer, just as the sky also gets darker. And I'm also, if you are noticing, I'm also making my strokes a little bit longer. With each row that I go. And fuzzier. And by fuzzier I mean we have here little dots, little lines, and then my lines are starting to get a little bit twisty. And that is because I want those lines to come together with the cypress. I want this rhythm to slowly come closer to this rhythm. So keep going. and going and going. And there's another star over there, so we'll do that too. Let's start very low. I apologize, sometimes I lose track of where I'm pointing with the camera. It's not always easy for me. So now we have that part of the sky. Let's do the other side. I'm going to start the same way. Well, I'm going to draw. I'm going to draw that moon. And then I guess I'm going to do well, that's what I did. Remember that we also want to play with the silhouette of the tree. You know, there's not a star here, but I think I want to have a little star here. So I'm going to add it. Because this is the painting I want to make. Okay, our sky is getting there. Okay. Well, I'm seeing there's a little house that I did not draw at the beginning. So I'm going to draw it now. And it too, it's going to have its little rhythm. Okay, so now that we have our tree and our sky and our little house, the next part that I'm going to do is this green little line over there. In this case, I've decided I'm going to do it with spots. And why am I doing this? It's because I see we have the lines on the path, and then we have the lines on the grass. And I think that if I choose something that is different in texture, it will also help create its own kind of rhythm. So there we go. So now we have that. The next thing I'm going to do is the grass. And before the grass actually, I'm going to draw that dark mass over there, which I'm interpreting as like distant mountains. And how am I going to do that? Well, we've spoken of the separation between strokes as the way to create rhythm, and we have more separated for the stars in the sky, a little bit closer here. The dots are doing their own thing, and in this case I'm going to do very, very close. So, and long. And I'm going to do them my own way because this is my painting. Okay. So there is my little distant mountain. You know what? I'm even going to turn some of this into it. Yeah, why not? So there we have it. Now I'm going to do the grass.